Welcome to layer 4 of our mandala. I'm starting this layer drawing another series of petal shapes. Now these petals are 2 grid spaces tall and only 1 grid space wide at this point. It's nice to slow down, take my time, breathe deliberately while I draw, and just relax into the process. I'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Now, just as I did last time, I'm going to draw an inner aura, or an outline on the inside of each of the petals, making sure that that outline is equidistant from that original outside petal shape. I feel like these petal shapes are sort of the quintessential mandala form. Some mandalas I see are just a combination of petal and leaf shapes, with all kinds of interesting decorations on the inside. Perhaps on some of our outer layers, we'll get to those petal and leaf shapes that have intricate decorations on the inside. I'll go ahead and speed this process up a little bit. So while we've done quite a few petal shapes, we haven't done many leaf shapes yet. So I decided now was the time. Let's go ahead and put some leaf shapes in there. So the only difference in my mind are the leaf shapes are a little bit more pointed, kind of like the shapes we started off with initially. These leaf shapes are 2 grid lines tall. And while I'm starting on one of the lines, I'm ending at the midpoint to each side on the petals. I'm also skipping 1 grid line between each leaf shape. I might figure out something interesting to put between those leaf shapes later. I'll go ahead and speed this process up a bit. So this time, I quite liked the size of these leaf shapes on the inside. And so in adding an aura, I decided to aura the outside this time. So I'm creating an outline that is equidistant from that original leaf shape. The tip at the top winds up being about halfway between the previous circle that the leaf shape ended on and the next circle. And so while I was looking at that as sort of, a place to put my point, I wasn't trying to be hard and fast about it. It was just to give my eye a roundabout idea of where that point should be. I'll go ahead and speed this process up a bit. So these leaf shapes are definitely big enough to put some sort of embellishment on the inside. So I'm drawing a line down the midline, and then I'm drawing curves that meet up with that center line. And the curves sort of aura the curve from the petal below. And I started out with this leaf shape, drawing all the curves on one side, and then moving to drawing all the curves on the second side. However, this time I'm going to play with the process. Maybe I'll draw on one side and straight on to the next. See which way I like it better, which one feels more comfortable in my hand. Now while I'm drawing, I'm not counting how many auras I put in. I'm trying to make them, relatively the same distance apart, but I'm not getting too picky about making it exactly the same each time. I'll go ahead and speed this process up a bit. So for our last embellishment on this layer, I debated a little bit about what to put in between my leaf shapes. And I decided upon putting 3 curved petal shapes. But like we did earlier, these petals don't touch one another and they don't touch anything else that's in the mandala. So again, we're going to be playing around with this idea of leaving some negative space. So I start off with drawing my center curved petal shape straight up and down, and then I draw another curved petal shape to each side, leaning slightly to the right or to the left. And as you can see, they're not exactly perfect, and again, I'm okay with that. In the end, the organicness of the composition as a whole will make it look quite natural. So I'm happy with leaving it with just a little bit of differentiation and differences between each of these petals. Thank you for joining me for this 4th mandala layer, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.